Me and Larry Gang, Gillie and Wallo show, they took a major hit. Ever since all these rappers that started their own podcast, all these streamers that took off, it's taken away from their views. It ain't been the same. You got Joe and Jada, they started their podcast and take away their views. You got Jim Jones and them, Mano, take away from their views. You got Cam and Mace, take away from their views. You got the streamers, take away from their views. Joe Budden and them, take away from their views. It ain't the same. Academics, all these different platforms. You look at their prime numbers back then versus now. When I say prime numbers, when they was in their prime, when everybody was, waiting on the Me and Larry Gang show, these boys went from doing 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, 7 million views, 6 million views, 5 million views. Every video was doing millions of views. Every video, even the little 3 minute, 4 minute, the Where's Wallo, look, Wallo little clips, they was doing 1.8 million views. To now, they could barely even hit 100K. Montel Jordan at 6K views. They ain't had a million plus view video all year long. The last video they had with millions of views was 50 Cent, and that was last year. The highest they done went this year was Young and Ace. He had like 500 plus thousand. The other one, Peasy. Everything else, he had The Rock, 100,000, 120 some thousand, 130,000. Had Pat Poose and his girl, the boxing chick, 200,000. Come on, man. Had somebody else had like 50,000. But they average right now is like 100,000, 150,000. The only time they get more than 300K is when they do a new, younger artist. New Dallas, they'll do 500,000, 600,000. Peasy and Younger Ace. Anytime they go in their age group or actors, or they have Morris Chestnut, he had like 50 some thousand. Why is y'all interviewing these people? Why is y'all interviewing Morris Chestnut, Montel Jordan, and come on, man. All the little clips they be clipping, they do 2,000 views, 3,000 views, 4,000 views. Man, that's a big drop from the other clips y'all was doing, and they was doing millions of views. Now they only doing 2,000, 4,000. That means it's a lot of competition. Y'all don't make us laugh no more. Like, y'all really ain't giving up no game no more. They done had their run. They done had their run. The numbers, you seeing the numbers. They ain't did a million views, 800,000, none of that this whole year. This whole year. So the guests, the people they bring on is boring. They're not even exciting. Like, why is y'all interviewing these people, man? Y'all might as well go back to the old way. Just y'all. How's y'all making a profit? Unless these artists coming on there for free, they doing academic numbers, 100,000, 150,000. Academics doing the same numbers, and he just talking into a mic, 150,000, 200,000. 1090 Jake doing bigger numbers than that. What these interviews doing, like Pat Poose and that boxing chick, 1090 Jake did that in 23 hours. Like, these niggas doing this in a day. Come on, man. I got all this studio equipment and these expensive cameras and this expensive setup, and come on, man. Something going wrong with Me and Larry Gang. It ain't the same no more. They not funny no more. They boring. They say the same jokes. The people who they bringing on, we don't care about on a platform. Not saying we don't care about these people, but we don't care about it to sit on their platform. Y'all said y'all built this shit for the youth. And here it is, y'all interviewing The Rock and Morris Chestnut, Montel Jordan. This, come on, man. So now it's going to be a lot of little jealous shit going on, little hate shit. Niggas not returning the favor. So say like Jada and Fat Joe, or Jada Kids by herself did Gillie the Kid show. Now Jada got his own platform, and Fat Joe, now Gillie acting funny. You know, Jada been looking at Gillie look funny lately. So I'm guessing Gillie was supposed to come on that show and he acting funny, or he charging a number that's too high, or giving them the runaround. All these dudes become a competition. Gillie the type of guy that get real jealous of a guy and talk shit about him behind the scenes. Like, it's a lot of artists that he do business with that he really don't even like. Or he's smiling in their face and he don't even like Meek Mill. He used to talk shit about Meek Mill so much. I'm talking about on Me and I Rap Game. I ain't talking about no back in the day. I ain't talking about that lad. We're talking about that lad night. He's calling him junkie, trash, all type of shit. Now he's smiling in his face. He don't really like Kodak Black. He don't like Kodak Black. He really don't like Cam Newton. Nah. He just did with him because it get him in the algorithm. He gonna play any little game he need to play or smile at anybody's face he need to smile just to stay relevant. If they was to renegotiate the deal right now, say Me and I Rap Game just started today and they came up in this situation right now with all these streamers and all these different podcasts, and now they wouldn't get the same deal because there's so much competition. What can y'all do, or what are y'all doing that'll make us not look at Joe and Jada and look at y'all shit, or not look at Aiden or Kai, they streams, and look at y'all or not look at Cam and Mace and look at y'all They had a good head start. So I'm telling you, ain't no way Gillie and Wallo ain't had no conversation like, man, we can't keep giving all this free game, all this Me and I Rap Game out. Like, everybody become a competition. And now Me and I Rap Game, that show they went away from how they used to do things. Like, when it was just them talking, they always got to have a guest on the show. It's never, you can't even really build with Gillie and Wallo no more. It's all about the guests. And they ain't how they came up. They need to go back to how it was. All the shows who stick to that routine right there, they're going to go past Me and I Rap Game. Me and I Rap Game got a big head start, so of course they're going to have more views. I mean, like, subscribers. But them shows, them platforms, they got all the rappers on there. They always got an interview. You're going to lose because y'all ain't going to ask the rappers the questions that their fans care about. This is why they'll do bigger numbers on the streamers platform. Because the streamers going to ask them what they're supposed to, or academics, they're going to ask them what they're supposed to, or say cheese, or a blogger that know what they ask them. Y'all going to be asking about shit you don't care about. But Gillie and Wallo, they do it so much, they don't even just ping pong each other. No Diddy, but they don't just ping pong off each other and run it like that how they used to. They screwed over every co-host they had. Tony the Closer, Don't Call Me White Girl, Deb. They screwed over all them. So now they on everybody blog, and man, y'all tripping. Go back to, it's just you and Gillie, and y'all talk about each other, talk about regular topics that people call in or whatever, however y'all ran it. Do it like that. You keep doing all these interviews, and it's taken away. But yeah, as more podcasts come out, which is more, Gillie and Wallo ain't finna show all that love. They ain't finna, you don't see Gillie and Wallo on all these nigga shows like that. Nah, they ain't trying to spread the love. It's not trying to, especially Gillie. Wallo may do it. Gillie, that nigga looking at everybody like competition. It's been a long time since Me and I Rap Gang got 1 million views on the interview or somewhere close to it. It's been a long time. The last time Me and I Rap Gang was really sturdy with it was when Takeoff. After Takeoff passed away and they did that Jay Prince episode, it started going down here after that. This is why I say they fucked up when they started letting all these rappers come on their show and all these actors and all these celebrities. Cause if you build your audience upon you being funny, you entertaining us. Once you start bringing a lot of artists on there back to back, now the show is not as funny no more. Now the show is not entertaining like that no more. Now it's a more serious show. Now it's a more like you teaching us stuff, but it's boring. When in the beginning, when it was Deb, Wallo, and Gillie. Then it came Don't Call Me White Girl and Tony, right? When it was that, they was teaching us stuff, but it was funny too. It was really entertaining because our attention span is too short. So the reason why Cam and Mace is doing so good, because why? They teaching you about sports and what happened in sports, but they also making you laugh. They keep laughing, which make you laugh. So you learning about the stats and the team and this and that. You also learning about they old Dipset stories, old May stories, relationship stuff, but they make a joke out of everything. So it keep you waiting for the next joke so you can laugh. With Gillie and Wallo, they don't really make us laugh no more. Because if you got an artist on there, y'all all in his life or on his block, y'all really can't even be yourself. You gotta look over your shoulder. Gillie may say a little joke about Wallo going to prison, but that ain't nothing. You can't really y'all can't join on each other no more. So if we go to other shows and they more funny, they gonna see your audience. So Joe and Jada, Fat Joe, we waiting on Fat Joe to say something crazy so we can laugh. And we're like, boy, that nigga crazy. We going over there. Why we gonna keep looking at Gillie and Wallo? We already know what they about. They about bringing the celebrity on and talking about everything went on with the celebrity. So it's more boring now. So yeah, the numbers gonna drop. Yeah, the numbers gonna drop. But they got too greedy. They ran all their co-hosts off. They didn't pay Don't Call Me White Girl. Boston Sports wanted to add Tony the Closer to the deal. Before they got their money, Boston Sports was liking how Tony the Closer was doing what he doing. They was gonna add him to that, and they ain't want him getting no money from that. So once him 500 and them came on board, they cutthroated Tony the Closer. Because Tony the Closer spent over $400K just being on them episodes. But he came in richer than them. Yeah, he came in Lamborghini, Yuri's Lamborghini car, you know what I'm saying? Jury. Gillie and Wallo wasn't getting no money like that yet. It's a whole nother story though with them. And Deb, I forgot what they fell out about. But Gillie and Wallo, when they cut all these people off, they didn't take no hit from doing that. Because when they did all that and it was just them two, it was still working. They still was doing what they were supposed to do. And one of the key factors on why it was still working, matter of fact, it took off even more. They started seeing bigger numbers because of perfect timing. At this time, when they cut everybody off, a lot of things was happening in hip hop. A lot of people were still alive, a lot of drama, a lot of beef. So when Dog come on there, he do his thing, he talk his talk, then he get deleted. So what? It make more people come back and look at that, so that shoot up more millions of views. You had King Von come on there. As soon as he leave, maybe a week, a month, whatever, he lose his life. So they make the views go up. And plus he was already turned. You got Thug and them on there, then they get locked up, so it shoot it up. Like everybody, you got Dirt on there, and then it shoot up because he sold $1 million. He had all them dudes behind him, and they were saying what they were saying on the show, and like everybody that was on there, something happened when they left, or they were just so turned. And the vibe that they brought on the interview, and yeah, everything played its part. So once they didn't stick to the formula was keep interviewing these young niggas that's turned. They could be in drama, they could be in beat. You ain't really got to speak on that, but their situation so turned right now. You will at least average 1 million views, 800,000, 900,000. Because even with Fat and Moneybagg Yo, they still had 900,000 views on that. So you at least average 1 million views, and then something can happen, and then it shoot it up even more. I think what scared me and our referee games after that Jay Prince and takeoff thing, when they got the little backlash from that, they said we're gonna back off all the drama. That's the thing. If they would have kept the drama around me and our referee game, it would have kept them at the top because people want to be entertained. It got to be either talking about their nightlife or like SEX life, like what Young Miami was doing on that show that Diddy let her get on Revoke TV. It could be something like that, or it need to be about the drama, about the chaos, beef, and ruckus, that type of timing, plus a little bit of rap. And you add on, you making them laugh and saying jokes. That formula right there would have worked. But when they bring the artists on there, they're not giving what they fans coming to see. They keeping it more PG-13, PG. They may throw a little joke in there, something like that. It ain't really funny. They make the guests laugh, but it ain't. They making the guests, the artists, be more serious. They making the artists go to their block, so they can't really open up like that because they got to look over their shoulder. You understand? So, or they let all their partners be in the interview with them. Like, nah, like, they fucked it up. They fucked up the formula. And this is what I mean by they fucked up the formula. Say when Young Thug got out and he did that interview with Big Bang. Let Young Thug do that same interview with me and I Rep a Game, it wouldn't have been that big. It wouldn't have had that many views. Because they're not going to ask Thug them type of questions that Bank did. Because they're not good people that interview people. Like, they don't know. They're trying to keep it too PG. They ain't going to ask some type of questions. They're going to just say, man, how was you doing in jail? How you been since you got out? How was it like when you worked with this artist, that artist? They're not getting to the nitty gritty. You let Cat Williams do the same interview he did with Shannon Sharp with me and I Rep a Game, it wouldn't have been the biggest interview on YouTube because they're not going to let Cat open up. They're going to keep interrupting, or they don't want Cat to say all that on their platform. And, so that's why me and I Rep a Game ain't going to never get them big interviews like that. The only way it'd be big is if they tapping in with the young artists and they ain't beef and they get deleted or they get locked up or something like that. But it ain't no outstanding interview because they're not asking the right questions, and how they set up their interviews when a guest do come on there with an artist, they're not letting the guests just talk like Shannon Sharp do. See, Shannon Sharp know how to ask the right questions. Like that's why he get bigger views and better results. Gillie and Wallo lucked up though because, like I say, perfect timing, and they got that big bag from Barstool Sports, so it worked. They good. They already got the money. They straight. Plus, they're not no heavy spenders. Wallo buy a couple cars and stuff, but they're not really no heavy spenders, so they'll stretch their money out. Gillie ain't gonna do too much. You see how he dressed. You see he ain't crazy for no jewelry. He's smoking little gas, but now he got his own line, so he ain't gonna really spend a lot of money on smoking gas. He got a couple cars, a couple of spots. You know what I'm saying? Pay the bills. He not, so he good. Plus, he still get a little money here and there from other stuff. But yeah, he good. Then he got their sponsors. So yeah, they see the numbers took a hit and they show ain't the same, but they still get a lot of money from when they got paid and they sponsors, so they don't give a damn. That's how they respond. Like, man, we make $1 million just in sponsors. We make, pay 20, 30, 40,000 just to have an ad on our show, stuff like that. So I already know how they respond. And then they gotta have a celebrity. They start bringing on celebrities that's not even in the algorithm. Like, we ain't even tripping on them celebrities. Let them go to Vlad and whoever else they've been going to. You need to stick to whoever popping. Like, why they ain't got YK Niece on there yet? They slipping. Why they ain't, like, they were doing it right at first. King Von, Lil Durk, Young Thug, people like that. Young Dolph. I need to bring these guests on when they in beef, when they hot right now. They'll start bringing on old comedians and come on, man. Y'all bringing them on there for? First they said they for the youth. Now shit can change. So yeah, I feel like they should just go back to their original way and do it like that. There's so much shit going on. Y'all got something to talk about. But that's on them though. They might feel like their system still working. And they already got the money, so they ain't tripping. But yeah, that's why I think they went wrong here though. I feel like it's so much competition right now. They ain't gonna be so open armed with information. And they might not spread the love. They came on y'all platform and you ain't so quick to jump on their platform. Y'all supposed to be one of the first ones calling. Hey, let's come over there, goddamn, turn up. Y'all fuck with us. You shouldn't wait for Joe and Jada to call y'all. Y'all supposed to call them. Let me turn up over there. I want to see y'all win. But now it's competition. But Gillie get on this bitch and say he ain't never been in competition. He ain't never. Of course, you ain't never been in competition tonight. You ain't never been that. You weren't in competition when you was trapping. You weren't in competition when you was rapping. You ain't never been that good at being in competition. This the first time ever. Probably was competition a little bit when you was in sports. You playing basketball and shit. That's it. You can play ball. But you ain't no competition in fighting. You ain't no competition in thugging. You ain't no competition in being a gangster. You ain't no competition in being a rapper. None of that. And y'all keep it up. Y'all ain't gonna be no competition in being a podcast. Y'all just got a bigger subscribe count. Because y'all been doing it for a minute. But nigga putting up them same numbers y'all putting up. It is what it is though. What y'all think though? If I'm wrong, y'all cuss me out in the comments. Y'all feel like I'm wrong, well, I'm reaching. But that's why I think me and our game took a hit and how they could fix that shit. But the money that now is Wallo, he'll get his own money. He can speak at events. He can do this, he can do that. Gillie, ain't too much he can do without me and our game besides a couple sponsors, the little boxing shit they be doing, the Gillie party thing they do. That's pretty much it. Cars, they be selling at the car lot. That's pretty much it. And Gillie ain't, I ain't really seen nothing Gillie dominated on his own. There got to be a team, but on his own, I done seen Wallo dominate. Speaking, going into events and speaking at Coliseum, speaking at school, he dominated that. I ain't really seen Gillie dominate nothing by himself. Oh, being a mascot. Yeah, being a mascot. Yeah, that's what he'll do if it really fall. Mascot full time. But that's only when football season around. He can't take that 76ers job. He can't take that mascot job. They already got one. You understand? But yeah, y'all hit that like button. Y'all subscribe. Share the video. Let it be known what it is. Follow me on IG, _gang_spitter. Donate to the channel, $Gang Spitter. He was with him. Go.